Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to talk about not the Cavalier class, which came out in Dragon number 72, but another article that came out and became a long-running series of articles, the Ecology articles. The ecology of whatever monster they wanted to write it about that month. This one starts it all with the ecology of the Piercer. A very interesting series of articles that went for a long, long time in Dragon Magazine and even a couple in Dungeon Magazine. I'm going to take a look at a few of them today and talk about the impact that they had as you're sitting down to playing your game. So today we're going to take a look at the ecology of whatever monster you want from Dragon Magazine. The ecology of the Piercer. This is the one that starts it all. We get to learn all you ever cared to know about and a lot more about a Piercer. These were an excellent idea, these ecology articles in Dragon Magazine. They usually would start out with either a little story bit where the group of adventurers was dealing with the monster in question, or they would be some type of intellectual discussion regarding the monster and how it breeds and things like that. So this truly was the ecology of the monster. It would go into its life cycle, how it ate, how it slept, how it reproduced. It was a very clever idea, I felt, and obviously I wasn't the only one. It's a very popular magazine that ran for decades. And it helped me in a lot of ways because, very honestly, I hadn't really ever considered the ecology of a, quote, monster, unquote, because, they're monsters. Who cares? You don't really think about it. At the time, this was first published in April of 83. At the time, we only had the Monster Manual and the Fiend Folio, and arguably the Deities and Demigods, as our monster manuals. And let's face it, there's no real detail of anything in there. You don't know how long orcs live necessarily, their family structure, anything like that. Well, this article gave us a ton of information on that sort of thing, and for that reason, it was very useful. The reason I feel that this was kind of a groundbreaking was when you hit the issue of the dragon and there was another ecology of monster in it. I know in my game and hundreds of others, I'm sure, that monster appeared. All of a sudden you had some interest in that monster and you're going, oh yeah, okay, that'd be kind of neat. One issue they did the ecology of the shade, which is a type of no longer human but not undead type of creature I personally have always enjoyed. And that inspired me to actually, over a course of an adventure, turn one of my player characters into a shade. That character, who's named Shade, is played by Craig in our group and is still active in our group. It has been for a long, long time. I've done some fun things with Shade where he can't enter consecrated ground because he's an other planar creature technically, and he cannot, or he can be summoned under the right circumstances. I did a very fun 2-part game where he was being pulled in a certain direction and found out that there was people trying to contact a monster from the outer planes and was actually getting somebody from the plane of shadows because he was closer. Ended up having a lot of fun with that adventure. So that's just an example in my campaign of how this inspired us as we played. Now, this also came out at a time when I was running 2 or 3 D&D games at a time. I was running at a club. So there was a lot of D&D going on in our group. I had a huge amount of people to play because this was pretty much close to the height of the popularity. So not only would we read these articles and include them in our dungeons as dungeon masters, but we also discussed them just as fans. I'm going to show another one. This is the ecology of a monster near and dear to all of us, the Mimic. Very clever idea. I'm going to show the picture, to do the ecology of the various monsters and make us actually care why. Why did the monster act like it did? Why did a mimic do it? How did it have babies? My introduction to the male Medusa was through ecology articles. He's called the Mater, and he actually lives and propagates the species with the female Medusa, and that came from my exposure to it, came from Dragon article, ecology article. So you get the idea. I'm going to show another one here. This one had a huge impact on me. Not nearly as much as the shade one, but the ecology of the beholder. We all love beholders, but I had never considered what an immature beholder would be. And this article was written by the outstanding writing team of Ed Greenwood and Roger Moore. Hard to go wrong with those two guys helming your article. And it was just very useful information. You could dial in a little bit. It also helped when you were thinking about spell components. If you wanted to use a spell component and use the beholder as something in a spell, why did the beholder? Why did you need that as a spell component? Well, some of it might have come out of the ecology. Maybe you didn't need a mature beholder. Maybe you needed an immature beholder or an ancient beholder, and so the actual articles would help you flesh out exactly what you were looking at and why you were driving the adventure in the direction you were driving it. I had a lot of inspiration from these, and I still sit down and just pull out a stack of Dragon magazines and I'll just read through the ecology articles, because sometimes it's just fun to kind of go back to basics and ask why something is what it is. We also had the ecology. Here's another one. The ecology of the unicorn. Again, a creature I never really considered having an ecology. It was nothing I ever gave a thought to. This also is an article by Roger Moore. When you're getting interesting ideas and interesting articles written by some of the top flight writers at the time, it makes it very fun to dive in. And like I said, I still pull these out and read them quite often. So there are a bunch of these throughout Dragon Magazine. There are lists online where you can see what monster was profiled in what issue. Dragon magazines are available in a couple of different formats on PDF. Some of them through DriveThruRPG. So if you have an opportunity to grab some of these and take a look, you could consult the article list, the article index for Dragon Magazine, where the ecology articles appear, and then see about getting your hands on that issue of the Dragon. These were very useful, still are useful in my campaign. I don't use them, of course, nearly as much as I used to, but they still make it. I still pull them occasionally if I have an idea where I want to do something dealing with a beholder. I'll pull out now for a little bit of background flavor. I'll read the ecology article. And then a lot of the information from those articles was expanded further in later adventures and modules that TSR published. So it was just a great place to get a lot of information all at once, and to kind of get your creative mind going and get your game moving in a correct direction. So that's all I've got to say about the ecology articles. I hope you enjoyed today's video on page 121. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave some comments below, and I'll see you next time.